Cool, good morning. Good morning. Have a good morning, come on. Energy. It's 9 a.m, I know, we're 9 a.m.-ish. Thanks for coming in relatively early this morning. Good morning and welcome to the second day of PG Connects. We had a great day yesterday, and the first day was kind of very much about the games themselves. We had a marathon indie pitching session and some workshops. But today we're going to kind of focus back in on the serious business side. And mobile games is a serious business. We've been covering this industry for the best part of 10 years now. I know I don't look that old, but I started when I was 15. No, but back when Pocket Gamer launched, we were writing reviews about 2D Java games. We were attending conferences where people were bemoaning fragmentation issues. They were complaining about the aggregators and the operators and the fact they're only getting 30% of revenue. And people were kind of struggling then, and we were very focused on the UK market, the US. But suffice to say, in the intervening time, a hell of a lot has changed. And whilst we definitely saw the potential, I'd be lying if I said I could predict the scale of the transformation that's taken place. The changes that were meant today, that the games are being played on devices that are as powerful as PCs and game consoles, that single games are generating $1 billion. $1 billion games is crazy. Despite not charging any money up front. I mean, who'd have thought not charging any money would make so much money? And I wouldn't also have predicted that we would be talking about such a genuinely global industry with it's booming in all corners of the world. One thing that hasn't changed, though, in the last decade are the brilliant, passionate and creative people that we've had the pleasure and honour to kind of work with and to cover, and the pleasure of kind of watching their success. I'm delighted to say that a good number of those people are here today, and we've brought with us a fair few new friends, and they're going to be here sharing their insights with us. Many of them have flown a fair distance, so I'd like to say a special thanks to anybody from the Americas, from Asia, from Russia and India, and elsewhere who's come today to come to our hometown of London. And I'd like to say a big thank you to London for not raining for 2 days now. This is something of a record in January. I know that it's a bit chilly, but to not have rain, this is pretty astonishing. We're becoming a generally kind of global business now in the way that we kind of cover. And as a key focus, obviously, of this conference, as the title suggests, is East meets West. And we see our role going forward at Steel Media, at Pocket Gamer, as to connect and to unite these nations and to share insight and advice about the mobile games industry, about the local markets around the world. We want to do what we can to help continue to grow this industry. And we also want to kind of talk about a global approach, because I think increasingly now, to be successful, to be mega successful certainly, you've got to start thinking global. It's not enough to just think about your market. So today, in the first session today, we're going to be doing just that. We're bringing together some of the world's biggest power players to discuss their global approach and successes. The format's going to be to have a series of kind of short, punchy presentations, around 10 to 15 minutes each, followed up by a panel to kind of discuss things in a little bit more detail and to allow interaction. We will take questions during the panel, but you can feedback at any point using the dedicated mobile app. Ding. Ta-da. So basically, if you go to event.pgconnects.com on your mobile phone, we've got a little app there that's kind of got a little bit of information. We're posting some stories during the day, and we'll be putting up votes and things during the day that you can kind of vote on and issues that we raise in the panels. So I've got to tell you about that. Obviously, do try and keep your phones on silent. You can have them on all day. And if the signal's not great, you can use the Wi-Fi here, which I don't know if it's up there, but the Wi-Fi is BT Open Zone, and the password is PGC14, all lowercase. So hopefully that's all quite straightforward. So, without further ado, I'd like to kick things off and invite our first keynote speaker to the stage. He's a man whose games have been genuine global smashes, dominating the charts all over the world, and who has suits that are almost as legendary. So could I have a big warm welcome for King's Games Guru, Tommy Palm.